Thanks for joining us. We're so glad that you're here with part 2 of the expert webinar with Dr. Linda Rayner, and you're going to hear more of the 9 tips, plus a lot more about energy healing.
So there was a concept that was explained by Dr. Hawkins in his book, Power versus Force, and it talks about the energy of consciousness and how different levels of consciousness have a different frequency. And you have your low vibrational consciousness, anger, shame, grief, depression. And then you have higher levels of consciousness, peace, joy, enlightenment. And what I found both personally and also working with other people is that the clearer you are energetically, the more that you've removed other people's energy from your space and you've cleared off your energy blockages, the higher your vibration is. For example, when I first started doing energy techniques, I worked with someone called Donna Eden and learned her daily energy exercises. What I found was that not only did I feel better physically, I was less anxious, but I started seeing things in the environment, things that other people couldn't see. Some people would call that clairvoyance. And that was a direct result of me having a clearer flow of energy through my body. The more energy work that I've done, the higher my consciousness and the higher my vibration has gotten. And I've decided that I will continue to raise my vibration as high as I can get during this lifetime because I do have access to great tools and a great mentor to help me do that. Vibrational medicine is another subset of energy medicine, and it's based on the theory that everything has a frequency, whether it's a person, a crystal, a flower, a plant, and every vibration is affecting every other thing around it. So if you're around something that's lower vibration, your vibration will lower. If you're around something that's higher vibration, your vibration will elevate. And there are several wonderful vibrational tools that are out there, things like homeopathic remedies, where taking these dilute forms of natural substances will raise your vibration and allow for emotional and physical healing. Another great vibrational tool is flower essences. You can capture the vibration of a flower in a bowl of water and sunlight, and then take that internally to raise your vibration. And each flower has a different healing vibration. So you can have one that will help you with grief, another that will help you with anger, another that will help you when you feel discouraged. So very easy, wonderful self-care tools to use. So another example of vibrational healing would be holy water that's blessed. And it has a different vibration than your regular plain old tap water. And just like the studies that were done by Dr. Emoto out in Japan, the messages that you send to water will change its vibration, its frequency. So if you label your water with love, it'll have a different consciousness and actually will have a more attractive ice pattern than if you label your water with hate or fear. So one of the things that I do in my personal life is I have a water filter, and my water filter is labeled with 2 things. On one side of the filter it says love, and on the other side it says holy water. And from the information, my understanding of Dr. Emoto's work, that is actually raising the vibration of the water that I use. And when I give it to my clients, they notice that it tastes different from other water that's just filtered without the additional love. So at home you can make your own vibrational tool using your own water bottle. Take a piece of tape, put it on your water bottle, and then whatever feeling that you're in the mood for that day, whether it's love, peace, joy, maybe just a little happy face. And that's all you have to do. There's no magic, you don't necessarily have to do a prayer or anything involved. The intent is that the water sees the messages and then transforms accordingly. Ideally, you don't want to put messages on there that can be lower vibration. I had a friend who wanted to put protection on her water, which everybody wants to be protected, but that invoked the idea that something was coming to get her, and so that lowered the vibration. And rather than doing that, I encouraged her to use love instead, because love protects you. Conversely, if you're drinking from a water bottle that has a sexualized image on it or something related to a violent movie, that actually will lower your vibration, and it's not great to do. You can rip off their label and put your own label on it to help with the effects of that. You could put some flower essence into the water to sort of help with the effects of that. But it really is important to be aware of the messages that you're seeing and what your body is taking in. Flower essences are a great vibrational tool. Basically, the energetic healing frequency of the flower is captured in a bowl of water and sunlight, and each flower has its own distinct healing ability. So there's a flower that can help you deal with grief, another that helps with anger, and other ones that help with depression, despair, feeling disappointed. They're very easy to take. Basically, you can put drops of it under your tongue, or you can put it in your water bottle and just sip on it through the day. So just like with a tuning fork or with a guitar string, you pluck the string, your vibration has changed. If you leave it and don't take another dose till the next day, your string has stopped vibrating. But if you're sipping on it throughout the day, you're plucking your guitar string frequently throughout the day, and that vibrational change stays. It's great to have a spiritual health plan, and energy healing will help you stick to your spiritual health plan more effectively. Sometimes what happens is the energy blocks or the energy disruptions can make it difficult for us to train a new habit, like our spiritual health plan. And by relieving those blocks, you're more able to do your meditation on a regular basis. You're more grounded so that you can connect with your higher power, and it's a wonderful thing. For those of you who are working on your spiritual health plan, how do you know when you need a little extra help with your energy system? Well, a lot of people feel that brain fog, that scrambling, they can't quite get their words, or they can't focus on the page. That's a great time to use some of the energy tools we're going to talk about later. It allows you to refocus, feel clearer, and you're able to focus on the steps you have in your spiritual health plan. If you've gone through an accident, a trauma, a loss, it kind of throws you off energetically, and it can be hard to bring yourself back to your focus. And so some of the other tools are really good for bringing you back out of that experience of trauma and back into that grounding and connection with spirit. The first most important tool is your grounding cords and flushing with light. So get in a comfortable position, whether you're sitting or lying down, and take a couple of nice, slow, deep breaths right down to your belly. With your mind's eye, imagine or feel a cord going from your tailbone right down through the layers of the foundation of your building, down through the layers of the planet, down to the very center of the earth where that molten core is. And just really attach that cord really firmly into the center of the earth. Feel how good it feels to be grounded in the earth's energy, how supportive it is. Allow that cord to expand from the size of your finger out to the size of a pipe, so that you're very, very grounded and very supported. Next, I'd like you to imagine a cord going from the top of your head out to the very center of the cosmos, as far out as you can imagine, and again, attach into the center of the cosmos. Feel how good it feels to be connected to that cosmic energy. And again, expand that cord out so it's about the size of a pipe. Next, with your mind's eye, visualize bright white healing light coming down from the center of the cosmos, down through that cord, down, filling the top of your head, your face, your shoulders, spilling down through your arms to your hands and your fingers, filling your chest cavity, your upper and lower back, your belly, your legs, your calves, and your feet. The light is going to be cleaning your cells, energizing them, pushing out anything that doesn't belong to you, that no longer serves you. And as you flush out with that white light, allow anything that you no longer need to hold on to flush down the cord from your tailbone down to the center of the earth. Now bring your focus to your heart space and think about someone or something that you love unconditionally. Allow that feeling of warm, loving energy to fill your heart space. And now energize that loving, unconditional feeling with the energy from the cosmos and the earth. So you'll imagine pulling in energy from the cosmos down through that cord to your heart space, and up from the middle of the earth up to your heart space. Now that unconditional love is energized by the planet and the cosmos. And take that supercharged unconditional love out from your heart space, expanding bigger and bigger, like a ball or a bubble, so that it encloses your whole body, so that all of your cells, all of your organs are all bathed in this unconditional loving energy. If there's any specific part of your body that needs extra help, a sore muscle, a wounded heart, mental turmoil, send some extra loving energy to that area. Now bring your focus back to your heart space and reconnect with the gratitude that you feel for your life and for all of your blessings. Thank you. The next tool is really good for getting you back on track when your energy is scrambled, and it's called the 3 thumps, and it's based on work by Donna Eden, who's a wonderful energy healer. The first area we're going to tap on is our K27. That's the end of the kidney meridian that runs up the front of the body and ends right underneath your collarbones. When you're under stress, what can happen is your meridians, some can start running backwards, and that can make you feel incredibly exhausted, overwhelmed, and that can be very frustrating. This, in my opinion, is your energetic caffeine, and what you do is you're either going to massage or tap on that little hollow that you'll find. If you follow the collarbone right to where it joins the breastbone and just go down about an inch, you'll feel a little hollow. So you massage or you tap for about 20 seconds. And what happens is that your energy circuits all start to go in a forward direction. The next area you're going to tap on is to stimulate your thymus. It's called the thymus thump. So right behind your breastbone is an immune gland called your thymus, and thymus is actually the Greek for life energy. So by stimulating your thymus energetically, you're stimulating your life energy. And this helps with your immune system and also your vitality. If you think about those old Tarzan movies and how he's beating on his chest, what he's doing is he's stimulating his thymus. So you take your fingertips or your fists and you're gonna thump right in the middle of your breastbone. Take some nice deep cleansing breaths while you tap for about 15 to 20 seconds as you stimulate your life energy. The third area is called the spleen point. It's actually a point that helps your lymphatic system to remove toxins, so it clears out your system. It also helps balance your hormones, metabolize your food, and support your immune system. So the way that you find it is you go from the nipple line down to your rib cage, and with your finger points, you're gonna tap on those areas For a lot of people, they find that these areas are really tender, especially if they've been under stress, they're tired, they've been traveling a lot. If it's super tender, you can actually tap out in the energy field, so you're stimulating it energetically, but you're not hurting yourself. So the combination of these 3 thumps is a great thing to do when you're running low on energy. It's in the afternoon and you're about to reach for your coffee or your Coke. Just do your 3 thumps. And you can even do them in the car while you're driving. One hand tapping, 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 tapping. The next posture that we're going to do is called the Wayne Cook posture, and it helps you with your mental focus. So what can happen is that there's an energy circuit from the front to the back of your brain that can get disconnected when you're under stress. And when that happens, it feels like your brain is scrambled. You can't quite find your words, your focus is fuzzy, you read things and you can't quite take in the information, and you feel scattered and disorganized. What this posture does is reconnect that energy so you're more focused, more alert, can learn more easily, and can speak more clearly. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your right foot on your left ankle, left hand to left ankle. Right hand is gonna hold the ball of your foot. As you breathe in, you pull in on your leg just gently, and as you blow out, you relax your leg. And you can do as many of these inhalations and exhalations as you feel you need. We'll do one more. And then we're gonna do the other side. So left to right knee, right hand to left ankle, left hand to ball of foot. Breathe in, pull in. Breathe out, relax. And again, breathe in, pull in. Breathe out, relax. To set it in place, steeple your fingers together, thumb on your forehead. Do another inhale and exhale. And lastly, fingertips on your forehead. Breathe in. Separate the skin on your forehead. Blow out. You can't always do the full form of the posture because you may be out in public or at work. So there's a shortened form called the Cook's Hookup. What you do is right ankle over left, right wrist over left, face your fingers together, clasp and pull in. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then you can do it on the other side. Left ankle over right, left wrist over right, face your hands together, clasp your fingers, and pull in. The shortened form is a great thing to do if you're in a public space like your office. I was doing an exam on a computer and found myself to get scrambled, and I really couldn't do the whole posture, but I could sit there. And actually, the even shorter form of it was I crossed my ankles, crossed my wrists, and I sat there. Took a couple of deep breaths, got unscrambled, and then I was able to do the rest of the exam pretty easily. The next tool we're going to talk about is the emotional stress release. It's a great tool and I use it a lot. What happens when we're stressed is that the brain doesn't function very well. The blood is going to our arms to fight or our legs to run away in that fight or flight response. What this tool does is it brings blood flow back to the brain, and specifically to the forebrain, so you can think more clearly, form new ideas and new solutions to your stressful events. There's these energy centers on our forehead just above our eyebrows called the neurovascular points. You can hold them lightly with your fingertips, or you can place a whole palm over your forehead, as you've seen some people do when they get bad news. What this does is it draws blood to the front of the brain, and you can think more clearly and have a better plan of action for your stressful event. The next two tools we're going to learn are geometric shapes called Hollands, and they work to balance and support your energy flow. The first one is the Holland of balance, and basically it's an octahedron, or two square-based pyramids, one point above to the square and then pointing down below. The first thing you do is you're going to get that shape in your mind and imagine that your whole body is in the middle of that octahedron. Nothing's sticking out. Next, you're going to tap into feelings of safety and security as you imagine that octahedron around you. And as you practice that over and over, you'll find that when you imagine the octahedron, those feelings will come on without you needing to think about that. That way, anytime you're under stress, all you have to do is click into that picture of the octahedron and those feelings of safety and security are with you, and your energy system is balanced. The next one we're going to learn is the Holland of healing. It's very helpful for supporting your immune system in a gentle, easy, effective way. It doesn't replace getting help if you are having problems with illness or infection, but it can be a really great adjunct to use. Basically, it's a silver cylinder or silver tube that, again, you imagine around your body. At the top, the tube is going to narrow and point forward. At the bottom of the tube, at your feet, the tube is going to narrow and point back. So if you look at it sideways, it kind of looks like an S, or almost like a dolphin. All you do is imagine this silver tube, and it helps to gently stimulate and support your immune system. You can hold that visualization for as long as you feel you need, and it's just a really great, easy, simple tool. The last three tools that we're going to talk about are vibrational tools. The first is Arnica. Arnica is a homeopathic remedy, and it's basically a very dilute form of the plant leopard's bane. What happens is they dilute it down so that all you have are the vibrational frequency of the plant, and it works on changing the vibration of the person who takes it. Arnica is a great tool for recovering from physical trauma and emotional stress. If you've had a fall, an accident, a car crash, you've lost a loved one, you take the homeopathic remedy, and you can do it as often as you need to, up to every 15 minutes, to have good effect. It's great for muscle strains, joint pain, bruising, sprains, but it's also great if you have had a head injury or a concussion. The pills come as little pellets, and you take them out. You'll have them in your cap. You want to make sure not to touch them because the medicine is on the surface. You just tip the cap into your mouth, and you're going to dissolve it under your tongue. You want to make sure that you don't eat or drink about 15 minutes beforehand and 15 minutes afterhand so you don't dilute the effect. It's a great thing. I have this in my purse and I take it with me everywhere I go, so as soon as something happens, I have it on hand to take. The next tool we're going to talk about is Rescue Remedy. This is a combination flower essence, and it contains 5 different flowers. What they do is they help to work calming down the energy system after you've been through trauma or shock. The different flowers include rock rose, which helps with panic and terror, Star of Bethlehem, which helps with grief and loss, cherry plum, which helps you with your fear of losing control, whether that's physically or mentally, impatience, which helps you with emotional tension and irritability, and clematis, which helps you to stay grounded and helps combat that feeling of spaciness or feeling like you're going to pass out. Again, this is another thing I have with me all the time in my purse. After a car accident, after learning about the death of a loved one, this is what's going in my mouth. You can take it by drops underneath the tongue. You can also put it in a water bottle and sip it through the day. Also, if you're going through a stressful time, not just one acute event, you can have it in your water bottle to take throughout the day if you have a stressful workplace or you're about to have a stressful situation like filming a webinar. The last tool is the tissue salts. Schussler cell salts or tissue salts are homeopathic preparations of organic minerals that are used to support cell function, and I wanted to tell you about a couple of these that are really helpful to have in your toolkit. The first one is Califos, which is actually potassium phosphate. What it does is it helps to support your nerves. So it's great for nerve pain, for headaches, things like sciatica, even ringing in the ears. It's also helpful for supporting your emotions, grief, stress, trauma, anxiety, angry outbursts. It just calms all of that nerve-related stuff down. Another great tissue salt to have on hand is MagPhos, or magnesium phosphate. This is a support for the muscles, so any type of cramp will be helped by this remedy. Muscle cramps in the legs, menstrual cramps, if you have a spasmodic cough that's because the muscles are spasming in your chest, this is a great remedy to have on hand. The last three I'd like to talk about are the ones that help for the 3 stages of infection. The first stage of infection is when you are having a fever, feeling really hot, you have watery discharge. The remedy to use for that is ferrum phos or iron phosphate. It helps to calm down inflammation. It's also a good remedy to use for allergy symptoms. For the second stage of infection, where you have more of that thick white mucus, you want to use Calimure, which is actually potassium chloride. It helps to thin out and dissolve mucus, so when your cough has more thick stuff, congestion, bronchitis, sinusitis, that's the remedy that you want to use. If you get to the third stage of infection where your mucus is turning yellow and green, you want to use the remedy Calisulfate or potassium sulfate. It really helps to oxygenate the cells and clear out all that congested yellow mucus. With the vibrational tools, the homeopathic remedies, the flower essence, the tissue salts, there are really no contraindications. Because it works vibrationally and works on moving the energy blocks, if you don't have an energy block, it basically will not work. That being said, if you take high doses of homeopathic remedies, they can cause what's called a healing crisis, where you feel more of the symptom before it's released, which can be worrisome for some people. Stopping the remedy can ease that off. With the flower essences, there are no contraindications, and neither with the cell salts. Thank you for watching the webinar. I hope that these first aid energy tools will help you achieve more balance in your life with greater vitality and energy, and allow you to work on your spiritual health plan with more clarity and focus.
Those are really wonderful, simple tips. Thank you so much.
Great, I'm glad I had the opportunity to share with you and your viewing audience, and I hope those tips can help people stay on their spiritual health plan, be more focused and in tune with their energy.
I'm sure it will, and you can get in touch with Dr. Rayner on our community with lifeforceexplained.com, and she'll be happy to answer some questions.
Yep. Most definitely.
Thanks for watching our expert webinar on lifeforceexplained.com. Don't forget to stay in tune with Life Force.
Start your spiritual health plan today by going to spiritualhealthplan.com.